Imagine they discover that many of these parks have poor lighting, and muggings take place in locations obstructed from the street by trees or bushes. By promoting an initiative to add lights and clean up landscaping, law enforcement may find they can reduce the number of muggings while reinforcing cooperative ties within the community. The third component of effective community-oriented policing is enhanced organizational features. The philosophy of community-oriented policing must be supported by the infrastructure of the police department. For community partnerships and problem solving to be successful, improvements must be meaningful and enduring. Management must be flexible and serve to guide rather than control the actions of individual officers. Command should no longer be centralized and should encourage a cooperative approach to making decisions. Recruitment, hiring, and training should incorporate community-focused ideals such as creative thinking and proactive communication. Once hired and trained, officers must have appropriate authority to make necessary decisions. Therefore, departments often shift towards long-term assignments, in which officers can execute impactful resolutions with less official oversight. When the system in which they work encourages officers to create real change in their neighborhoods, they become more driven to develop the necessary partnerships and find solutions to key problems. Additionally, resources must be allocated to partnership and problem-solving efforts. Officers must have the tools needed to accomplish community-oriented goals, and should be provided funds, materials, and staff necessary to make community improvements. Technology can also play a central role in enhancing infrastructure, and should be used to keep officers and community members connected and informed.
Community-oriented policing plan would consist of having community members come into the police department, sit down and have a meeting, discuss what they feel is going on in the community, what direction we're moving in. If there's any problems, they can address those, and then the police department can respond and saying we can incorporate neighborhood watch, IdentiKid, which is the fingerprinting of kids for identification if they're kidnapped or lost or run away. You also have your HOA groups that get involved by putting on special regulations in the subdivisions that are enforceable. You have National Night Out, which gets the community or the city surrounding areas involved, and you bring them in and explain crime prevention as far as, make sure your car doors are locked, make sure your garage doors shut at night, alternate different lights if you leave for the day or the weekend. Then again, they address issues that they see in their subdivision or in their part of the community as far as, is the crime rate going up? What can we do to help you? Well, you have, there's a terminology called COPS, Citizens on Patrol. You can incorporate that where they go out and patrol around the neighborhoods, patrol around the cities. If they see something, instead of taking police action, they notify the police department through dispatch and say, hey, this is what we're seeing. Can you send an officer over here to check it out? So that's pretty much community-oriented policing.
Effective community-oriented policing depends on increasing positive contact between officers and community members. This should be a responsibility of all officers at all levels.
An officer's role in community-oriented policing is getting to know the city, the beat, the district that they're patrolling. For instance, if you're patrolling a certain area of the city on a daily basis, you get to know who lives where, what types of vehicles are supposed to be in a certain place, you see a vehicle that you've not seen before. Do I need to keep an eye on it? Do I need to make contact with it? Or do I leave the area and come back and see if it's still there? What's going on? Not only that, it gives them a chance to get to know citizens by handling different calls, stopping by, see somebody outside, hey, how's it going? How's everything going in the neighborhood? Is there anything we can help you with? As far as that goes, get to know the little kids. give them stickers, pencils, pens, coloring books. Let them know that you are there to help them.
There are some officers who are more likely to play a primary role in community-oriented policing. These include patrol officers, school resource officers, neighborhood service officers, crime prevention officers, and public information officers. Not all of these types of officers exist in every department. Every department has a unique structure, and types of officers in each department will depend on factors including size, programs, and available resources.